Studio tonight. Alabama, I slipped out of my mouth, but Tennessee winning. Alabama comes from way behind tonight. Tennessee without Nate Ament for much of the second half. Pretty decent piece of the ball game. Only played 11 minutes. And obviously just a terrible result tonight as the Tennessee Vols lose 71-69. The title tonight, Ament falls, and so do the Vols. And do we have a lot to talk about? Boy, these games are really strange when we play Alabama. Really strange basketball games. We got a real look-see, though, into how valuable both those players are tonight. Because when you watch this Tennessee team play without Nate Ament, try to do the math, okay, on how many wins they would have if they didn't have that kid. It's Garza law, Tennessee basketball overtime. And for Alabama, I mean, hey, that's a team that gutted out a win, even though they got bullied. I mean, they got shoved all over the place tonight. They got out-rebounded 47-30 in the basketball game. Tennessee had 9 offensive rebounds to their 21 defensive rebounds. Still lost the game. The difference? Alabama lives and dies by the 3 ball, and they hit a bunch of them. Philon came alive in the second half. And the Tide, 10 for 27 on threes in the game. But in the second half tonight, Alabama lit it up without Ament in there. They went 5 for 14, and that was the difference in the ball game. That was the difference in the ball game. And this Tennessee team, Brian Hartman, the tough thing about that loss is I welcome you and Alex Myers in for now. Matt's at the ball game. He'll be joining us momentarily. But Matt, Brian, now we've got some tiebreakers that could come into play here in the league with this loss tonight. We did not want to go over 2 this week, Brian.
Well, Kentucky wins today, and Missouri, they win today. So Tennessee is tied with those 2 teams. A&M did get beat, but Kentucky, Missouri own the tiebreaker with the Vols.
It's rough, man.
So if the Vols could have hung on, they would have been in the driver's seat. They would have been in a great position to miss having to play on Thursday.
Yep.
But this is the Kentucky game all over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's why I didn't want to talk too much smack after beating them a month ago in Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say this, but I never felt good about this game. And they were up 13 in the second half, and I still could not just let myself get too carried away because I know what this team can do. I know what they've done. This is kind of what they are. And I know that's not what anybody wanted to hear, but I just I don't know. I don't want to say I expected it, but does it stun me? Not at all.
Scary looking scene on the floor when Nate Ament went down.
And Nate Ament's health is more important right now long term anyway. Let me point that out right now.
No doubt about it. And they shut him down after he came back out and tried to go, and they decided to shut him down. Look, I was telling you, and I wrote it in the blog this week, he's already had a lower extremity injury that he's been dragging around, and it was already hurting his ability to explode a little bit. We haven't seen that explosiveness from him. But now he's all beat up. He's all beat out. You know, it's just a mess. Alex Myers, your thought on what we witnessed, and then we'll go to the phones.
Yeah, very disappointing, Tony. I mean, if you would have told me at any point this week Tennessee would have fallen to Alabama, I'm not where Brian's at. I didn't expect it. I expected Tennessee to win. Now, would it have surprised me? Not at all. You know, they've got some matchup issues that will dictate some things that just aren't great matchups for Tennessee.
Yeah.
But if you look at what Barnes has done against Oates, if you look at the home court advantage that Thompson Bowling has been, I mean, to me, I think that's a game that you should have expected to win. Expect's a strong word, but leaning that way. I think what it showed you also is when you have a guy go down, it happens in every sport, but in basketball, because there are so few players involved, it's just exonerated. Or that's the wrong word, but you know what I'm saying? It's
exaggerated.
Exaggerated. Thank
Yeah.
you. Sorry. Goodness. English, not my strong suit. It's exaggerated because there's so few players that impact the game. Well, on Tennessee's case, because you're so thin to begin with, when a guy goes down, it's glaring. Because of the fact is that you look, who else comes off the bench?
Nobody.
Ament gets hurt. You've got Abram and Berg
right
in the backcourt who combined for 0 points. Abram's out there for 4 minutes. It doesn't even look for a shot.
As somebody pointed out earlier, which is a great point by you, at the end of the game, they've got J.P. Estrella trying to check Phylon. That, my friends, is called a bucket. Okay? In my world, if I'm Phylon, Al, and I see Estrella on me, and he's another one all beat up. That's another kid that's playing all banged up and beat up.
That's part of why I thought Bama might pull one out.
Well, but
Tennessee's health is just not what it needs.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
But guys, the other thing is down low, and I know he's gotten some crap because he's not explosive offensive player.
Yep.
But this game's to me the most important player on the court tonight was Okpara.
Yep.
Because what he was able to do defensively and the sins he was able to cover up for, and I know he got scored on a little bit there at the end, but his ability when you're going to play Rick Barnes style and you're going to switch everything, he is the only guy that Tennessee has down low outside of Ament that can play that way effectively against a team that can go 5 out.
THE only. Like tonight, they tried to play Brown in the game. They should have played Brown against Missouri, and they didn't. They played Brown tonight, and they shouldn't have. I mean, look, I'm not a basketball genius. I'm not one of the 35 guys that sit behind the bench, but I could have told you that. There's no way in the world that Brown guy's going to function in this game. I mean, I don't know what the thought is there. He's not. You're not going to be able to play bully ball to that extent with these guys. Now, they did bully them around. They thoroughly outplayed them and still found a way to lose, which is, I don't know, which is a trademark of this team.
Tony, and the thing is the staff knew it too. And how do I know that? Because you just got to turn the calendar back 2 or 3 weeks when they played down there, and everybody thought, oh, Brown, homecoming, he's from Alabama, he's going to play, and everybody's like, they didn't even put the guy in hardly.
Thank you.
So the staff knew it. And I'll say one other thing. I know we got callers to get to, but
all lines are jammed.
As bad as that injury looked, and hopefully, like Brian said, the most important thing, obviously, is Nate Ament's health, and hopefully it was a scare more than anything, and hopefully he's back out there soon.
Yeah.
But the scarier thing is, if that would have happened to Gillespie and Ament is out there, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's worse for your team because you know what you have behind Gillespie.
Listen, all the Gillespie haters are going to hate on him for tonight. You go ahead and hate away because Alex is exactly right. If you lose Gillespie for the time you lost Ament tonight, you get beat by 20 points in that game. You get run out of there. All you haters. And look, he drives me crazy because he just does crazy things on a floor. He just does. And he's not a point guard, and he's sort of maddening at times. But he's extremely valuable, and that's a great take by Alex. So some of you are going to call, and you're going to hate on the guy, and it's a real shame for Nate Ament because he was playing so well, so well before he got hurt. The Vols finished. They just run out of gas. Vols finished 0 points, last 2:06, and you could see it coming. When Alabama got within a score right under the 4-minute timeout, you knew it was coming. I'll tell you when I knew it was coming is when we shot a shot with 11 seconds on the shot clock at the end of the first half. Brian, was that Iceberg that did that? That's one of the dumbest.
That was Berg. Yes, it was.
Literally one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And these guys.
And they got bailed out, by the way.
They did get bailed out. They got the ball back. That's right.
And Ament, he doesn't play Tuesday night if it's me.
No. Hell no.
He has to not play.
No, I wanted to sit him anyway. I wanted to sit him. But we'll go to the phones. We'll get as many people in here as humanly possible. Look, I credit Alabama tonight. You play in this league, and your best player goes down, and they're down 13, and they take advantage of it. They never quit playing. I give them a lot of credit. They fought their way back, won the game. This has been a crazy series. We won one last year in our building, probably shouldn't have won. We lost one tonight, we probably shouldn't have lost. And Ament was really going well till this little spate of injuries. And it began before the Vanderbilt game. He's been banged up since then. And then these last two, the stepping on somebody's foot the other night didn't help because he wasn't himself in the Vandy game. I'm just telling you, you can believe it or not. But I'm telling you I'm giving you my information on it. I wrote it in the blog this week. But let's go to the phones. And I don't have to cover for the kid. I mean, hell, he's a hell of a player. But he's pretty beat up. We'll go to the phones. We'll get as many people in here as humanly possible. It is Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime, presented by Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, Jake from Memphis. How you
Hey,
how
Jake,
you doing,
welcome in, buddy.
And not too mad about the result tonight. Honestly, I'm in Brian's camp. I didn't really think we were going to win this game. Especially after seeing Barrett pop off earlier in the week. And I've watched a lot of SEC basketball this year. I knew what Phylon could do to us, and so I was kind of expecting that to happen. Especially when Nate went down. I mean, we're not winning very many games. We'll win Tuesday, but that's going to be about it if we don't have one of Nate. If one of Nate or Jacoby are not playing, we're not going to be doing too well. But I really wanted to say, very impressed. I think Bama is probably the best team in the country at not fouling. And that's what they have 4 fouls in the second half, Tony.
They had 10 for the game. And in the second half, they had 4. And well, here's the thing.
And
go ahead, Bri.
Yeah, the difference is they fouled 2 3-point shooters, and that really probably is the difference in the game.
You mean the
Gave
Vols?
them a 4-point play.
Yeah. He's talking about Bama. He's talking about
they do that.
He's talking about how Bama. Well, Brian, we just do crazy things. The thing about tonight's game is they are really officiating these games as if they're in limited television windows. I like it. I like faster games, and I like letting the guys play to a certain extent. Tonight's game, but you know what?
4 fouls. Four fouls in
almost
20 minutes against our team.
You got to understand something though about Bama, Bama doesn't even fight for rebounds. A lot of your fouls are going to be on the dirty end. We out-rebounded them by 17. I mean, I couldn't watch Alabama play night in and night out personally. I think it's a silly style of basketball.
But here's the thing that Bama has that we don't. They have more than 2 guys that can score. And when you have that, you're in every game.
Yep.
And when you don't have that, you blow 15, 13-point leads every game.
Yes.
I mean, our team is what it is. They're fun to watch. I was about to get on here and go, just a really gutsy win without Nate.
Exactly. It was going to be a great win.
I was really hoping.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I was really hoping to say that, but I like I said, not too mad about it. Just given seeing Phylon play and knowing what he can do, and seeing our defense and how we let people pop off. I'm just I'm along for the ride at this point. Our team is what it is. It's just it'll be fun to follow, but. Whew,
hey, I want to remind you tomorrow, Jake, and the Tennessee baseball fans out there that my man will be in here in the studio as soon as tomorrow's game ends. Matt Dixon will be alongside the chef, Will Heflin, VFL World Series first Vitello team to get there. Will Heflin will be back for year number 2, and that was a hell of a win by the baseball team today. Man, you got that right.
We needed that, and we need it in the worst way. I feel really good for those guys.
Yep.
Our basketball team, it doesn't look like it's permanent. Fingers crossed with Nate, and we'll be all right. Today was, like you said, it was a really weird game. So I appreciate it, Tony.
Thank you, my brother. Hey, Brian, you know where the difference in this game is? We can't make layups. 12 for 29. Tennessee was in layups tonight. Division I basketball team, y'all. How's that possible?
I thought Carey played really well. Carey really was the one who helped extend the lead.
Yeah. Carey had a nice night tonight.
He
was 5 of 11.
He functioned a lot better tonight than I thought he would. I give him credit for that. And another thing I want to give credit for, obviously, Gillespie's going to get his flowers to an extent, but I think because it's a loss, this is some of what he did tonight's going to go kind of under the rug.
Yep.
But I want to point something out. Tennessee as a team had 9 steals. Tony, how many do you think Gillespie had out of those 9?
4, maybe 5. He had a bunch of them.
He had 8.
What?
One player. He had 8 of the team's 9 steals.
He's down in the crouch.
And then I'll pose one question.
Yep.
We know Abram and Burr, what they're going to do, or better yet, what they're not going to do out there.
Yep.
Where was Henderson? Why not throw him out there for a spurt when you're going on that big drought? Nega
Dave has a theory on that. He'll probably share it if he gets in tonight. He's got a theory on, and he might be right, because Henderson, when you're coming into a game after Amari Abram, you're in Rick Barnes' witness protection program. I mean, I'm putting in an APB for this dude. Let's go to the phones. 865-200-5402. The Vols lost 2 straight. Hey, the league's tough. And here's a thought I don't want to have, but if you take Nate Amen off this team, how many more wins do you have left this season? Anybody?
Maybe 2.
Anybody?
2.5. Maybe.
Anybody? Who are your 2 wins, Bri? Give them to me.
Maybe South Carolina and maybe the first SEC 20 game.
Uh-huh.
And then you could say maybe a half. The total would be 2.5.
I wouldn't bet on that SEC 20 game, Bri. But let's go to our phones. I will give you South Carolina because that would not be a pretty thought. You're going to win one more game without him. It's going to be Tuesday night because you're playing an absolute Del Monte tomato can. No, Contadina tomato can. Let's go back to the phone. Contadina's pretty good now. Mama used to make it in her sauce. R.I.P. It was incredible. We call it gravy in the Italian world. Unbelievable, Andy. Let's go back to the phones at 865-200-5402. As the Vols lose tonight in a day where Kentucky blowed out Vanderbilt, and now all of a sudden all these tiebreakers might come into play here for the Vols. It could not give tonight's game away. Couldn't go over 2 this week. Not good. If you want to be one of those first 4 in the SEC where you played at the top of the league all year, it's called giving it back tonight. Hi, welcome in. You're on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime, presented by Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm.
Antonio, John Ball's calling in tonight.
Hey, John, welcome in.
Hey, appreciate all you do, everything. I have a favorite show that I watch. Mm-hmm. And in it, there's a line that says, always with the drama. And it's Mama Soprano and Tony. And this team is full of drama. Mm-hmm. Full of drama. If a man, I want to know, guys, if a man does not get injured, mm-hmm. and Tennessee doesn't do exactly what we've been talking about game after game, where they don't score down the stretch, mm-hmm. and that would knock them out of the tournament, and that's an issue. Do you think if he had not been injured, would Tennessee have won? And I know it's a woulda, shoulda, but
I don't want any Alabama fans or Kentucky fans that are listening because they're dialed in just to hear what we say, and I get that. But I don't want anybody to think I'm not sour grapes in you here. Tennessee would have held on and would have throttled this team with a healthy amen tonight. They just would have. They would have run this team out of the gym. When you take him off the floor and everything falls to Gillespie, and it's Gillespie and whom? Carey trying with all his might in 21 minutes gets you 10 points. That's great. Estrella.
And this team is beat up, Tony.
Oh, the team's all beat up. All beat up.
I mean, they're pretty much playing without half the team.
They were going to steal a win. If they would have won this game, they would have stolen a win. That's what it would have been.
That would have been huge.
Our caller in Memphis is right.
I do have a very quick story, a very quick one. There was a young man in Knoxville that took his own life. He was an Alabama fan, a huge Bama fan. They went to all the ball games. And he was unable to play in high school because he was it was a racial thing, let's just say, okay? But he was a very polite young man. And so for the Bama fans that are enjoying listening to me screw up this call, every time Alabama wins or when we beat you, I always look to this guy and I say, that's for you, Dylan. So that's what I did tonight. And his parents, since that happened, cannot watch any sport like no sports because it brings back bad memories for them. So, be lucky that we can watch it and enjoy a win, enjoy a loss, enjoy community, what have you.
Thank
you.
That's
my story, Tom.
Thank you, John. Thank you. 865-200-5402. If you want to get in the mix and in the hunt with us, I don't know what I would do without sport in my life. I mean, I just don't. Again, I'm like this. I had my guitar in the park today, and I sat there and I played for about 3 hours, and people are looking at me like, "What's wrong with this guy?" I had my mandolin with me for a while, but we're recording a couple of Lauren Wilson songs on Tuesday afternoon in a recording studio, so pretty fired up, folks, and prepared for that. But had to work on my chops today. Get serious. I got to tell you, I just can't for the life of me. Alex, he is right. This team loves some drama. I mean, college basketball is wrought with drama. This team makes it so hard on itself, Al. Like the end of that sequence at the end of the first half.
That's exactly why I disagree with you. Tennessee would not have blown this team out because they've had Nate in all year, and they still find ways to just not even
pretty good point.
Even the bad teams on the schedule, they still find ways not to cover and not to kind of keep the pedal to the metal. But I do think we would have won because at some point during that scoreless stretch, you could have posted him up for that little mid-range, and he can get that shot at any point. And that's the difference between him and Gillespie is Gillespie, as good as he is, he's not a real matchup problem because he's not – he's just kind of an average-sized guy versus Ament at any point. You get him in an ISO situation, you can go to him and he can get a bucket. I thought Estrella did a nice job of doing as much of that as he could tonight. But, that's the difference. That stretch would not have gone on as long as it would. But Tennessee would have still found a way to make this thing more interesting than it needed to be because that's who they've been all year.
865-200. Go ahead, Bri.
It's really a miracle that Ament scores 2 points, and they led the whole game by double figures in a good chunk of it and only lost by 2 points.
Welcome in. You're on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. Hi.
Hey, Tony and Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Ethan. Hey, man. Thanks for doing the show tonight, all you gentlemen, and Laura. We're heading back from the game.
Yeah.
Just another horrible loss. Where was the first half? Carey was great.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting buckets.
Mm-hmm.
He was creating. He was creating havoc, maybe getting some boards. Where was he? Am I imagining things, or why was he not in?
He committed 0 personal fouls in the second half, and he only played 8 minutes, and he scored 4 points in his 8 minutes, and I think that's a fair criticism. That looks like a game he was functioning well in, especially when you consider that he's beating this team up on the boards. And in his 8 minutes in the second half, he had 3 boards and 4 points. I mean, he's fairly active, especially without Ament. I think there are 2 thoughts here. Where is he? And why don't they give this either Troy Henderson or Amari Abram a shot? What is this fascination all of a sudden with Ethan Berg? What are we doing?
God.
What Rick Barnes, what are we doing? Did his family, or do they have an extended 2-week stay? It was fun last week when you did that. Hey, it was a great story. That was really nice of you. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Insanity. It's just, what are we doing?
I don't know. Iceberg. He shot a shot with 11 seconds left in the
I know. And didn't he foul somebody?
Yeah. Yes, in the sequence. What are we doing?
And between him and I love Boswell and his hustle. And I'm not being a negative caller, but man, these passes where I'm not sure if it's on the cutter or just these passes that are hitting people on their back.
It was rough.
We look like the Cleveland team from the Major League from before they start getting good. Listen, the turnovers the other night and a couple of them tonight, and Tennessee played pretty cleanly in the second half because they had to. Yeah.
They only turned it over 3 times, but they just, at the end of the day, I'm going to channel my inner Conzo Martin, and they can't score the ball, as Conzo Martin used to say. They can't score the ball.
It does go into the
they're 13 to 35. They put up 5 3 balls in the second half, and when your opponent is nailing threes and you can't buy one from three-point land, end of the game, they draw one up perfectly for Gillespie, and he can't hit it. I mean, these guys are,
Just like the Kentucky game.
Yep.
They let Alabama hit 2 threes to start the second half. And it was a 12-point game. It was 6.
Yep.
And the unforced turnover from, I believe it was Boswell to Parra, that he wasn't ready for the pass.
Yep.
Could have been the difference in the game.
Yeah, that's when I knew that the game was
first thing he does is he enters the game and gets a turnover.
I love me. That Bird's got to get. He's got it. Like, hey, Michael Jordan used to go over and play with the whatever that was, the chalk or the powder, or like LeBron James does. Throw it. And Ethan Berg likes to throw the ball up in the air. That's his thing.
I hope maybe I don't know if Refelytics Judd will call in.
He will.
There were some goofy ass fouls that Alabama that were called on us that favored Alabama. I mean, some absolute phantom fouls. Don Daly, what are we doing? And Tony, I don't know what our problem is around the rim, but we blow more bunnies than Thumper's mom after Bambi was over. I love you guys. It's just this is maddening, and we'll see what we can do in a couple weeks.
Thank God for South Carolina. 865-200-5402. Vols are going to need that. Now, if they lose to South Carolina, that might be our final Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime of the year. We might break a little history here in this series, which was going on for close to a decade now. As let's do this. If you want to get in, 865-200-5402. Tennessee. These Bama games are weird. I mean, the one down there was weird, and we won. The one last year here was weird, and we won that game. Tonight's game beats all, and prayers up for Nate Ament as we continue with more. On the other side, we'll get back to some more calls. I see where, and Laura's man on the phones here, I see where Dave's up next. Negative Dave after this. We'll get you back to this episode of Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime, presented by Marcos Garza and your Garza Law firm, online at garzalaw.com. Don't you dare trust one of these carpetbagger, fly-by-night attorney groups that's come in here from Florida, Alabama, etc. You're going to trust the Garza Law firm, folks that live, work, worship, grocery shop with you, are a part of your community, are a part of us, are of the earth. Trustworthy, honest legal representation, treating clients like family. Available 24/7 at garzalaw.com. Don't you dare trust one of those carpetbaggers. Shout out to our friends at T3 Vodka. Score you a T33 every time with Tennessee's premium vodka. Make it a 2026 resolution, handcrafted with passion, precision, a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka, taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. 5-time gold medal winning vodka. 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. And no doubt in the running in 2026 once again. Score a T33 and ask for T3 by name at your restaurants, your wine and liquor stores. Drink it neat, drink it right. T3 Vodka, hit T33 every single time. And please drink responsibly. Shout out to Waterside Contracting. Got a dream about building? Waterside Contracting's been making dreams come true for over a quarter century. And counting, hundreds in our area. Custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting. If you want to build on your lot, they'll do incredible work for you. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the website, watersidecontractingllc.com, or see the link over at tclub.team. Quality without compromise, Waterside Contracting. When it's time for a fresh coat, you're going to run. Don't walk to Walker's Painting. You going to run. But you're not going to hide, because they've been making it beautiful since 1999. That's going on 27 years of serving the living volunteers. Free estimates available. Mention you heard about it here on Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime. And it's 10% off your first job. So let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting. See the ad in the blog over at tclub.team. And on the way out, I want to remind you, when it's time to play, it's time for VIP play. Why? Because everybody gets treated like a VIP over at VIP play. Claim your VIP play welcome bonus. You bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code and the phrase that pays is T and Tony. They're live always, 200+ leagues. All the college hoops you can stand, NBA, NHL, you name it, they've got it. VIP play, live always with 200+ leagues, numerous bet types, props, options, and if you have a bet in mind and it's compliant within the state of Tennessee, the VIP players, well, they'll make it for you. That's why everybody gets treated like a VIP at VIP play. Gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet, VIP play. Speaking of VIPs, we got some folks that want to talk. We'll get back to them. It is your Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime as we come back, and we, ladies and gentlemen, bring it back, and let's hear what's on the phone lines. Take it away here at Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime. Boy, I'll tell you what, I get wordy. You know, a couple minutes of my voice really goes a long way. Let's get some other callers in here, including one who's been taken under wing recently. He's really had a kind of a positive turn on the show. We've taught him some breathing techniques and how to relax and enjoy the moment, and let's see if it works. As we go back to the phones on Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime, and Laura tells me it's Dave. Dave, hello, welcome in. You're on the air.
Well, Ament's done. He was done a couple games ago, so that's done. We got 7 games. We got 7 really good games out of him, and that's about it. And this should be a learning thing. You don't pay one of these freshmen $4 million. You go out, you get your proven upperclassman. He is. We got the worst one of the elite ones. 5 stars. Barnes, he doesn't give a shit. He just doesn't give a shit. He's not going to do what it takes to get over that, whatever it is. We need a guy that Barnes just does things the way he wants to do, and it doesn't matter if he wins games or loses games. He's not going to change. Let me tell you something. We got out of Boswell and Bergknight, they played a total of 41 minutes combined. We got 4 points out of that guard play. 4 points. You just cannot win with that kind of guard play. And that's on Rick Barnes. And I guarantee you his assistant coaches knew this, but they want a paycheck, and they were too afraid to stand up to him and say something.
Well, you were right back in November when you told me that Bishop Boswell was going to be the 2 guard. I said there's no way in the world in Southeastern Conference basketball play, and he going to be your 2 guard. And sure enough, he's your 2 guard. And look, when you play Alabama and that guy's your 2 guard and he puts up 3 balls and he's not even close, you have it's a miracle at the end of the game without Ament on the floor. And look, the stuff about Barnes, I know you don't mean. We need to work. I'm going to get with you in session 4, and we're going to kind of – but you've been okay. You're kind of – compared to what you were, Dave, I'm going to take this for now. You don't mean what you're saying about Barnes. But he is a – I'll say this about Barnes. And again, I tried to tell you this. It's how you say it. Listen to what you said.
Okay.
Dave – here's the way to say this. Barnes is so stubborn that he would rather lose his way than win another way. That's all you got to say. Yeah. Everybody listening to us is going to agree with that. He's a defensive first coach. He was never going to have the guy that's at Baylor right now scoring all those points, who's a losing player, by the way. Baylor's a losing team this year. He's kind of a losing player. He is never going to go with the like Alabama that has all these guys put the ball in the hole, but they don't fight, they don't rebound, they don't play hard, trying to go for loose balls, and they don't. But they got pretty offensive games, and they went to the Final Four, and I get that. Barnes is never, ever going to lay down with players like that. He's just not. He's just not.
Well, and again, it's just, I took up for him last year. I took up, I did.
Yeah.
I took up for him, and I paid the price, and I will never take up for that man again.
Well, he's a great coach.
He sat over there, and he didn't call a timeout.
No, he's not going to. Not
when
his
Alabama was making their run.
Not his deal. He's not going to.
And you better learn not to go after these 4 minutes. And that ain't meant soft, Tony. You know he is.
No, he's not. Dave, he's been playing hurt for a while. He drug an injury into the Vanderbilt game. It got worse the other night when he stepped on somebody's foot, and then it got put over the top today. And he tried to play through it. Give him some credit. And when he hyperextended his knee, and his legs already beat up, and the lower part of it, he turned around and put up a J, and he winced in pain, and he basically collapsed down on the floor and got back to the bench. Come on, man. Give the guy some credit. That's not a fair thing to say about him.
But he was not playing well this game.
No, he came in gimpy. I was saying if it was me, I would have figured out a way to get him off his feet tonight. I'm not calling for load management, which is an NBA fakeism, but when a guy's hurt, shut him down.
Well, I think he will be shut down. I think we've seen the last of him.
I don't know about that. I'm not.
And here, what Barnes has done this year, he's blown a 12-point second-half lead. He's blown a 14-point second-half lead. He's blown a 17-point lead. And he's blowing a 13 second-half point lead all in the same year.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah, that's no question. Guys, your thoughts on Dave's call. Dave's moderated. That was actually a moderated call from Dave for those just catching the show for the first time. What do you think, Al? Al Maya as a coach? Al?
Yeah, he's definitely a little more tempered than he typically is. If that's your first time catching him, you're thinking, what are these guys talking about? That guy. But compared to earlier calls in the season, I thought that was a respected call. I disagree, obviously, with the Ament being soft. I think that's just a silly take, silly at best take. But I think two things. I think, one, he mentioned early in the call that this essentially should be a lesson to never pay one of those guys $4 million. I would pose the question right back at Dave and say, what would on the open market right now, what would you pay Acuff, who's also a freshman? Do you think he'd be worth $4 million? Absolutely.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Or AJD at BYU, Dave, would we pay him? Aren't even a myriad of these freshmen in the sport. And by the way, Ament's been really, really very good in league play, Dave. Come on now.
He's been terrific. But I will say this on his point about Barnes and the timeout, that has gotten me for years, and unfortunately, it's just one of those things where, as a fan, it's never going to not aggravate me, and I'm never going to get it. But it's not going to change, and he does have a point. You would almost have to try to blow as many double-digit leads late in the games as this team does, and unfortunately, with as many games that we've got left in this season potentially, I'm afraid we're not done.
Couple of conclusions I've come to about Rick Barnes. He's going to wake up tomorrow and win 20 games, okay? He's going to make you very angry on the way to those 20 wins. He's going to not take timeouts when other teams have runs. He just not his thing. He's never going to do it. Only time he'll take a timeout is if his team makes him mad. He'll take a timeout and scream at him. I don't know if he believes in momentum. I don't know. But
he didn't even take one at the end of the first half, Tony. That he could have stopped that whole Berg just awful shot selection with 11 seconds to go when Tennessee was clearly, and you could see Rick Barnes motioning his guys to slow down, take one shot before half. he could have stopped that when the ball started getting kind of wonky and they were playing hot potato with it and called a timeout. He had a use it or lose it timeout, and he chose to not use it, and Berg jacks up a shot, and they get another possession out of it.
But here's the thing about Barnes. He's never going to value offensive players over defensive players. Never. You don't play defense, you're not playing for him. So if that's not your cup of tea, you forget about it. The Vols led tonight 36 minutes and 37 seconds. They trailed for 24 seconds in that basketball game and lost. Now, we've had some doozies this year. This one here kind of takes the cake. And again, it was going to be another masterful victory over Nate Oates' teams. Just don't match up well with Tennessee. They look like fish out of water until we close that first half. And when I saw the close of that first half, and you saw the close of that first half, you knew what was coming, and I knew what was coming. We've been around here long enough for this stuff to know what was coming. Hello and welcome in. It's Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Bruins was another first half lead this year. How about Rich Bruins blowing another? Joshy boy.
Does that make you feel better?
Yeah, it made me feel better.
All right. Well,
Tony,
glad to be of
first
service.
thing I'm going to bring up is I'm not even going to throw out the price tag of how much Nate's making. Do you think Kobe Bryant, the great Kobe Bryant, do you think the great Michael Jordan, do you think the great Allen Iverson would have sat on the bench for the whole game and not have came back and
He
played?
can't play. It doesn't matter. He can't even walk. He can't walk. Joshy boy, you're out of here. He couldn't walk. What do you guys want from him? Have you all ever been hurt? Has anybody ever been hurt here? The great Zach Lawson hurt his back. It'd be like me going over his house, and he had like 2 ruptured discs and screaming at, "Get off the floor! You're weak! You're soft!" He couldn't move. He tried. He shot a shot, and he was hurt. You could see it. Look, at Vanderbilt, he wasn't able to get off the floor. I'm not lying to you here. And then he went back out against Missouri and tried to play through all that, and he stepped on a guy's foot. That is painful AF, as they say in the TWAD. Okay? If it makes you feel better saying a guy making $4 million doesn't mean that you're going to be healed of all your ailments. I don't know what, everybody keeps quoting this money to me. He's not soft. He's not. He's not. It's not fair to him. He's a highly skilled, very, very good basketball player. And y'all need to piece the hell out on him. If you want to rip Rick Barnes, go for it. He's a big boy. And he does wacky things. Some of his combinations that they had on that floor tonight, at one point, I looked at Laura and I said, they got Jacoby Gillespie out there with 4 rec league players. Now, what are we doing? I mean, you got no chance of scoring. As in none.
I mean, he could be like the guy at Kansas and just be a healthy scratch and just check himself out to load manage. I mean, this is a guy that, as you mentioned, has been banged up, has continued to play through it.
Thank you.
As you mentioned, went back out, and I don't. To me, kind of seems like he's a guy that the staff needs to save from himself a little bit and say, "Hey, you're going to sit out for the next 10 days, and we're going to make sure that we have you. You know, assuming he's okay to go, but make sure we have you for March."
Joshy boy, you did come in hot though. You get credit for coming in hot. Timothy McGee, stop blaming the damn coach. Our players would find a way to F up a certain kind of... Hey, how much are we paying these kids? A lot. Hey, Timothy, Rick Barnes makes top 5 money in the sport. Okay? He's paid like a Final Four coach here. Like a multiple Final Four time coach. Okay? He can take some blame.
You mentioned the lineups.
He doesn't take timeouts, Timothy. He doesn't believe in timeouts. Go ahead, Al.
You mentioned the lineups, and it's one thing that we didn't get to in Dave's call that I was genuinely curious to hear.
Yeah.
Are you able to share what his theory is? Because I still go back, and not that Henderson is some, he's not Lanier, he's not some star off guard right now, but like,
Dave should have gotten to that.
What Berg's doing, why can you not give him a little bit of a run?
Dave should have gotten to that. Dave said that there's internally, this is Dave's information, I haven't heard this, but Dave believes that internally, and there's been some other chatter about this from other people because somebody else asked me about it. So there's a belief over there that he already has a destination in mind for where he's going at the end of the season, and Tennessee feels like he's been tampered with and they don't want to mess with him. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea. But why is he not playing? Why is he not playing? He doesn't get iceberg? I mean, what are we doing? Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. It's Andrew Maryville.
Hey, Andrew. Welcome in.
I just want to ask a question about, the roster construction and the way we wanted to go about it this year.
Yep.
'Cause I remember, going into the portal llast year, you said that the staff looked at, Houston and Florida and said we wanted to build our team like theirs.
Yes.
I get that, but those two teams around their two bigs, which, there's nothing wrong with playing with two bigs.
Mm-hmm.
But both those teams had 3 senior and sometimes fifth-year senior guards that were all shooting 40% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you can play with two bigs because you can still shoot. And I don't think this team was McNeely away from doing that.
Well, that's an excellent thought on your part because that's what they thought. They thought we have Isaac McNeely from Virginia, and then they had that snafu with his major, where his major, they didn't have it here, which nobody considered. But he just assumed they would have it. They came to an agreement with him. And then he was off to Louisville, where he's had kind of an uneven season for a really talented Louisville team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, it looks to me like they've got some eval issues. I mean, obviously Boswell playing that many minutes, it's just not serious. That's just not a serious college two-guard.
Yeah.
Now, he's a nice in a pinch player for you. On a really talented team, he'd be a really good kind of come in, raise havoc, jump around, commit some fouls, jump in some passing lanes, give you some juice.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a lesser version of Meshack, who really didn't play until his senior year. I mean,
That's
he
right.
kind of had to play when Ziegler got hurt in 23, or 22, but
the
he's
difference
not there
being
yet as a
the difference being Meshack is an uber athlete now.
Yeah.
Who's really
him
playing
and
well in
Evans
the
are really
NBA.
good defenders, but there's Ziegler and even like Vescovy and James, they were just levels above what we got right now.
No doubt about it.
I found it so weird because last 2 years, it's the greatest 2-year run in Tennessee history and Barnes' career.
Yep.
And he did it with, the high level, outside scoring transfer and playing 4 out. And I think the last 2 years were the most threes per game we've ever taken under Barnes. Mm-hmm. And he just went the exact opposite from it. We're shooting, I think, the least threes we've ever shot.
Well, and that's by design. I mean, everybody can shoot them.
Well, I know. I don't know. It's just, it's really weird. And I know this team's plan is to just get so many offense. I mean, we took, I think, 22 more shots than them tonight.
Yes, that's correct.
It just doesn't matter if you don't hit them. And especially, I think Bama was plus 18 from 3 tonight, points-wise.
Yep.
The math just doesn't work out unless you're hitting your twos at a really high rate.
It's a reason that Rick Pitino, when he was at Providence, when they realized you could have a 3-for-2 deal, and then when he went to the NBA and brought that with him, there's a reason why the mathematicians all say, if you're going to trade 3-for-2, I'll do it all day long. I'll shoot a lower percentage, but I'll beat you at the end. It's exactly what Alabama did to Tennessee tonight. And by the way, the Vols were, I'm going to say this one more time, they were 12 of 29, as I said 50 minutes ago, in the first 3 minutes. 12 of 29 tonight, Andrew, in layups. That's a rough watch. That's bad offense.
Every time I see Boswell go up for that mid-range, I just cringe. I can't keep watching it.
It's pretty maddening.
Do you know if this is the plan again next year, or are they going to go back to?
Oh no! I can't. Okay. I'm kind of like triply sworn to secrecy. Let me just say this:
Yeah, all good.
They're involved with a couple guys that are really high-level scorers for next year, scorers.
Yeah. Is one of them a guy we just missed out on last year?
You could be pretty smart, man. Thank you, my brother. 865-200-5402. Couple of the guys Tennessee have targeted here are high-level offensive basketball players. One of whom they're kind of afraid is going to end up in the NBA, but they've done a lot of legwork there. But let's go back to our phones. On a night where the Vols lose 71-69, Alex Myers and Brian Hartman are in the house with me. Maury sends his regards. Matt Dixon is on his way in. And Tennessee closed tonight with 0 points in their final 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And it was literally like watching a slow bleed because you knew it was coming. I knew it was coming at halftime. I just knew it. The way we close that half, we kind of just do this thing where we just kind of goof around. And back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. And now the Vols have lost 2 in a row, and it's the whole Nate Ament thing. None of this is good. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hi, what's up, Tom? It's Lee, man.
Hey, Lee, man.
Yeah, so as far as real quick on the roster construction, like you look at the best teams in the country, Michigan, Duke, Arizona, Florida. All strengths of all those teams are their size and their height in the front court and how much damage they do in the front court. There's been a little bit of shift, like away from like the 3-for-2 thing. Like I get it, but it's more about shot volume. I mean, congratulations to Nate Oates. He finally solved his math equation, and then he pulled the game out tonight by 2 points when Tennessee lost their best player.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
He got the hell beat out of him. He's got no business winning that game tonight, Lee, to your point. That's right.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'll say this. Look, Tennessee, this team has a bunch of inefficiency. It's the inefficiency on offense, the field goal percentage, 2-point and 3-point. They're bad. But you have to give some credit to this for doing what they have to do to try to win games. Like, the only way this Tennessee team is going to win games is if they get more shots up than you. Because if they've got the same number of shots, we're not going to win. Like, we have to offensive rebound like madmen. Like, that was a nuclear annihilation on the boards tonight.
Yep.
But we don't have guys that can put the ball in the basket down low. And I keep hearing, why did you go after these experienced guards? Like, somebody please tell me these veteran difference makers on college rosters right now. Isaac Neely scored 6 points today. He had 0 points the game before that. You go back and look at his last 10 games.
He hasn't been good.
Night.
No, he hasn't been good. Yeah.
They're hit and miss. Like, I'm not objecting. Like, the idea sounds great. Like, yeah, I would love to go out and just get these veteran guys that can just fill it up. I don't think it's just that easy, So, but I'm not totally opposed to the way the roster is constructed with the big men. Like, this is the problem is, like,
the problem is Carey, and we love him, but he just can't score, man. He had 10 tonight. He had 10 tonight. Look, he's got to make 3 more shots and get you to 16, and the game's over. But for him, 5 for 11, hey, man, I'd pop a cork after the game if I was him. I'd open me up at Dos Equis after that game tonight.
I'd take it from him. I just don't think when they got Carey, they were I don't think they were expecting to have to rely on him as much as they are. Phillips goes down, Estrella's
Phillips
hurt.
Is a huge injury.
Just is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, said all year, this team is not close to a top 1, top 2 tier team. However, people say this team is mid. I don't know what that means. If it's if I'm just too old, I don't know. And there's 365 teams in the country. Does that mean we're 180? I don't think. Yeah, that's not the case.
Well, to your point, Barnes has a way of playing, and we know this, right? That is so high floor that you almost take it for granted. Never on the bubble, never around the bubble, never even near the bubble. For him, a bad season here is a 6 or a 7 seed. That's a bad season here. For most teams, they will take being a 5, 6, or 7 seed. Like, they might go off as a 5 this year. Maybe a 6. Okay. Not the end of the world.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, assuming Ament gets healthy, I don't know. That's the most important thing to come out of this game. But
agreed.
Look, Can you go out? Can you go out and have a Mint do his thing, get to the free throw line 13 times a game, Gillespie play really well, which we know he's capable of, and kill somebody on the boards? When all those things come together and you play great defense, like we showed tonight, we can do against a Bama team that was scoring 100 points a game.
Yep.
Like, yeah, we can beat anybody on a given night, but for fans that expect like that to happen every single game and are going to get pissed even when we win games, it's not pretty enough.
Right.
Like, that's just not the way this team is built. It's going to be close, like every night, and you're going to walk a line to where they just because like I said, I would love to have another shooter. I don't know what else they could have done.
This
the
team,
idea of not giving freshmen $4 million a year. Look, when these guys want to come on play for your team, you're not turning them down.
No, never.
Like, you're not turning down Acuff. Would you pay Boozer $4 million?
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah, of course you would. Yeah.
Devonta
turn these kids
tomorrow.
down.
Yes, tomorrow. Yes. Thank you, Lee. And by the way, the whole concept that Ament's not, he's only given us 8 games is the biggest bunch of nonsense. That's a totally horrendous take. Horrendous take. He's a hell of a player. I would do that over again and twice on tomorrow, twice on a Sunday, man. Come on now.
Yeah, without question. I mean, I think the kids played his ass off. I think the soft narrative got developed real early in the season on him.
Ridiculous.
And they're trying to carry it over. But, I mean, when the kid is literally hunting contact, like over and over again, trying to get to the free throw line.
Exactly. Thank you, Lee.
I don't know. Like I said, super frustrating loss. Like, I'm pissed. I don't like losing to Bama, especially to Oates.
Yeah, he's
but, like, I get everybody's frustrations. I just think at this point, we know what this is. Just, just some of the takes are kind of wild.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, they are. They're all over the place. Matt Dixon's going to restore order, and he's going to do that right after this as he's entered the room, ladies and germs, and all lines are jammed. It's Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. I want to remind you, tomorrow, our first edition of Garza Law Extra Innings. Will the Thrill Heflin will be in here, Matt Dixon as well. They'll be breaking down Tennessee's weekend in Texas thus far. They're 1-1. Tennessee had a close game last night, get out of hand with, I think, some pretty questionable managing in the middle innings. No offense to our new coach, but we got to start questioning him. And today, a really gutty win. Freshman came out, gave you some great work in the bullpen. Solid start against excellent competition. That's a hell of a tournament down there. All kinds of talent down there in that field. And that UCLA bunch, geez Louise, are they good. As we come back on the other side, we'll get all the calls in. We'll get you in more after this. We'll get you back on this episode of Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime momentarily. Shout out to our friends at Garza Law. They're online at garzalaw.com. They are attorneys that care. Let us help. And they are live. They are local. They live among us. Don't you dare trust one of these out-of-towners, these carpetbaggers, these people that have bombed the area on our local airwaves. Garza Law, online at garzalaw.com. Whether it's DUI defense, criminal defense, personal injury, Social Security disability, or other aspects of the law, Garza Law has got you covered. They are a fabric and a fabric in this community. What is a fabric? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. My friends at Calhoun's are a part of the fabric of this community as well. They've been sponsoring us for over a quarter century. They have been celebrating at the Copper Cellar family of restaurants 50 years of serving the living volunteers. That's right, 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Calhoun's. The taste of Tennessee. Before or after the basketball game for the Vols and the Lady Vols. Also remember, great party platters when you're hosting. And remember, they also do takeout as well. They are the taste of Tennessee. You will taste the freshness. Calhoun's, the taste of Tennessee. My friends at Connexio present Knoxville's Drive of the Game here on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. The My 20 Drive of the Game. The transportation platform revolutionizing the trucking industry nationwide right here out of beautiful Knoxville, downtown Knoxville. You take control of your fleet in 2026. You improve your safety scores. You make drivers happy. You maximize your profitability. You make it a winning year in 2026 with KONEXIAL. That's KONEXIAL.com. Put a /Tony on there. We get credit for it. Drive life with Conexial and go Vols go. And you talk about live and local. Josh Collins is a pillar in our local community. What a beautiful guy he is. Look, you can get insurance anywhere, but will you get the Collins insurance difference? Our entire studio in the Raymere studio is insured by Josh Collins and the Collins Insurance Agency. We count on him. We trust him. We've had a few lightning strikes here. They've always been quick to pay. You never know what's going to happen. You and I both know that. See the difference. Experience the difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Also, want to shout out my friends at Alumni Hall. Ladies and germs, basketball season. The Vols and Lady Vols, they've got you covered. Also, when you're getting excited about Tennessee and the upcoming baseball season, they've got you covered. Doesn't matter the sport, doesn't matter the season, whatever the reason. Alumni Hall, the ultimate volunteer shopping experience. 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, and anytime around this great world of ours at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall. Now let's get back to the action on Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. Tony B back with you. Florida is running Arkansas out of their gym in a day where Kansas is I think they got obliterated or getting obliterated by Arizona. 865-200-5402. Matt Dixon's entered the chat. By the way, a couple of you Weisenheimers, great Beano term, I'll say smartasses, say, well, usually Tony doesn't allow baseball. Hey, guys, just a little news flash for you. First of all, I'll host this show. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. We have a program tomorrow that I'm trying to promote, if it's okay with you. If it's okay with y'all. Is it okay? I'm going to ask your permission. Before I do it again on this platform and promote that tomorrow, Will Heflin and Matt will be here after tomorrow's game. I think it's like an 11 o'clock in the morning start or something with Virginia Tech. It's pretty early. But they'll be in here as soon as the final out is made, wherever you're hearing us right now. If it's okay with you guys that I promote that and promote sort of what we're doing here so we can kind of grow, is that all right? Or goodness gracious. Let's go back to the phone. Oh, hey, Matt, go ahead. Jump in here. Hit it.
Well, obviously a really disappointing loss the way you did it. Still kind of feels you're kind of a miracle you were up by 12 and, in control of the game for 30 minutes with Ament not playing and just not being a factor in the second half. Because if you remember that game in Tuscaloosa, it was the second half was where Ament kind of took off and took over the game and kind of went on that heater after that. So for him to not be out there, I mean, you're a 2-man team and one of your 2 guys was out and the other one, did it best he could and got you like 20, 25-ish points, but it just wasn't enough because Bama found a way to make threes in the second half and kind of steal one kind of from you when you really had a chance to steal one from them, in a weird way to put it. Because I don't know how you beat them with just one score on the floor. You just aren't.
The Phylon guy, Matt, just said that's my basketball game, and you're so beat up. You're so down several men at this point that you literally are checking him with JP Estrella. And that is called a basket, Matt, where I come from. When you see him on Estrella, that's called points.
Yeah, on a not healthy Estrella, absolutely.
Correct.
It is.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, Estrella did as well as he could, but he was hobbled. Even he was kind of hobbling around in the first half. But that's what teams can do when you can spread the floor and get those switches because Tennessee's going to switch, and they did it against Tennessee down there in Tuscaloosa too. You just had Ament was able to help you overcome that by scoring points, and you just couldn't get enough of them tonight. Just a really disappointing loss.
In a weird way, when you out-rebound somebody by 17 and you're talking about stealing a game, it almost sounds oxymoronic. But these games, when these two teams play, because they approach the game so differently, are always weird. Because Nate Oates hates defensive players, and Rick Barnes hates offensive players. Like Small Mike's phone booth said, here's an idea. Fill the roster with scorers and then play the ones that don't play defense. Better than getting all the defenders and hope they can score. Yeah. Great idea. Ain't going to happen under this coach. This guy, you don't defend, you don't play. It is pretty simple. Hello and welcome into the next call. And by the way, Tennessee in the first half, that defense was about as good as it comes. It's a shame to waste that defensive effort, but that's how the cookie crumbles in this series. Hi, welcome in. You're on Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime.
Hey, Tony, Andrew in Murfreesboro.
Hey, Andrew, good to hear from you.
Hey, got an interesting stat for you. It's totally changed how I've watched college basketball, specifically Barnes, under the last 5-6 years. In college basketball as a whole, the last 5-6 years, it's pretty much a race to 70. When the team who scores 70 points first gets to 70, 93% of the time that team is going to win the game at any level of Division I college basketball. And if you look in the Barnes era, you can go season by season. Every time we've been put out in March, minus the 2018-19 Purdue game that went to overtime with the Klein guy that just went unconscious from three. Any other March Madness loss, we didn't get to 70. The last 3 games, we have not gotten to 70. Now, somehow we won the Vanderbilt game. They couldn't buy a basket last Saturday. I was kind of surprised we won that one. But nevertheless, you didn't score 70 tonight. You didn't win the game. Kansas this year, we get to that high upper 50s to low 60s range, and we just offensively, we stall out. Tonight, we got to Amari Evans to the big bucket, had a strong take to the hole. You went up 63-55 with about 5 minutes left, and we stall out. If we don't get to 70, we just don't win. And I love Barnes. I'm not one of the Barnes haters. He is the greatest coach we've had in this program. The people that hate on him, I just know what to tell them. They need to watch what we had the last forever in this program. But
a down season under Rick Barnes is winning 19 games. A down season.
Yep.
Guy rolls out of bed, wins 20 plus. Is it pretty? No. Is it maddening? Yes. Is he ever going to take timeouts? No. Is he going to favor defensive players over offensive players every single time? He's not perfect, and there are reasons why his teams don't, roll through March while certain programs do. But that's a great number to watch for. That 70-point number is a pretty good number. It's kind of like 24 back in the day in football.
Yep. Garantano capped at 24.
There
really
you go.
is.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, just got to watch that number. When we don't, that's when I hope I'm wrong, but when we go out in March, or if we do, I guarantee you it's because we didn't get to 70. And with this team, I love Bishop Boswell. I love the culture. I love how tough our teams are. Like you said, we're going to win our 20 games every year. But with Boswell at the 2 and Ament, we don't know how he is down the stretch with his health. I mean, you can't go to Jacoby Gillespie and say, hey, you got to score 40 points, man. I mean, somebody else has got to come to the table. When we get to that 58, 62, 63 points in a game, in these big games, it's happened in Kansas this year.
Yeah.
Syracuse, we scored 60. Kentucky on the road, you have 47 at the half. They still beat you to 70. You lose the game. So I hope we can string together 4 in March and score 70, but I don't know if this team, especially if you keep playing Ethan Berg, I don't know why that dude's on the court, what we're doing with that experiment, because you benched him for 5-6 weeks. Now all of a sudden he's your next guy off the bench. I don't understand that at all, but he's not going to get to the 70.
He literally played him 13 minutes tonight. I don't know. Troy Henderson, what did he do? Did he steal something from one of the coach's offices, or what did he do? Ethan Berg?
Yeah.
Hell, Amari Abrams got first half minutes.
Yeah. When Abrams coming into the game, Matt, ahead of you, what does that mean if you're Henderson?
You're buried on the depth on the depth chart.
Yeah,
I knew it was probably going to be a bad night because Amari Abrams actually missed the one fly we all fly dunk pregame.
Yep.
So I thought that was kind of a bad omen.
The one fly we all fly dunk. When you clank that off the iron, you're in trouble, man.
Yeah, should have known.
Thank you, brother.
Well, y'all have a good one. Hopefully we find some offense. But.
Well, yeah. Thank God we play. Thank God we play South Carolina Tuesday. That's a get right game if I've ever seen one, and I'll take one at this point. I tell you, you just kind of know what you're going to get. Look, I love Barnes. Is he frustrating? Yes. Am I planning to book a trip to the Final Four with him coaching? That would be a negative. That'd be a negatory. Do I think it's going to happen? It could happen this year. Sport's really random. Really a random sport. I'll tell you one thing. Old Peeping Todd down there at Florida, his scandal disappeared rather quickly last year. 51-29, Florida with the lead, 141 to play in the first half. That Florida bunch is pretty impressive. I'm starting to think, Matt, this guy down here at Florida knows what he's doing. What do you think? I'm starting to think the guy at Florida's got a pretty...
I mean, the national title probably tells you that. Covering up the scandal probably tells you that.
No question. Internally,
Tony Vitello could have been the biggest pervert in Knoxville if he was still here. I'd look the other way.
What do they say? Winning's everything, or whatever the saying is. Hello, you're on the air. Welcome in.
Tony.
Yo.
What's up, man?
Hey, welcome in.
To that last caller, he's not the best coach we've ever had. Bruce Pearl's the best coach we've ever had. How many points did Carey average last year at Vanderbilt, Tony?
I don't know. He came over from James Madison. I don't have that number in front of me.
It was 18 points.
Well, it's a totally different offense, though. You're expected to do completely different things. I mean, you're
not.
Sure,
no, you're not.
Sure, you are. They're
basketball. Yeah, there might be some little variances.
Totally different approach to the game at Vanderbilt than our approach to the game. I didn't realize he averaged 18 a game. Wow, that's impressive.
He can score down low. Okpar can score down low. They all can score down low.
Actually, no, he can't. Carey cannot. I know. Not if you got length on your team.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
Well, don't you watch the games? He can't get a shot off.
He's fouled half the time. He's getting fouled, and there's no call because our coach can't. Our coach would rather yell at his own players than yell at the referees.
He has my vertical leap. Carey does.
Tony.
50% from the free throw line.
And exactly that. When he goes to the foul line, he missed 2 of them tonight, and he weren't even close.
How many minutes did Ament play, Tony? And when did he get hurt? I'm sorry. Full admission here. PSA, I was in and out watching the game.
Ament got hurt.
11 minutes he played total.
11 total, but he got hurt right at the beginning of the second half is when he really – it was happening in the first half.
No, he got hurt in the first half. He played like 2 minutes of the second half.
And then the blow in the second half is the one that took him off the floor for the rest of the game. Yeah. He gutted it out in the first half. He missed a little bit, and then he got back in there. When he went down in the first half, was gruesome looking. Hey, Matt, at first, it looked like he broke his leg or something. It was gruesome looking the way his leg bent backwards. Very unnatural. It looked hyperextended.
It looked bad.
It was not good.
And they played him after that?
Yes.
Well, to all these people that are saying this guy's soft, and you could go on Netflix. There's a documentary on Reebok with Shaq and there's basically the story. They brought Shaq back in as the president or whatever, and it's a whole deal about them trying to, rebrand the Reebok brand and bring all these people in. And Nate Ament is the high school player that they go to and whatever. So listen, this kid is going to be playing a lot of years in the NBA, barring a major injury. So all these people that are like dissing this guy or whatever, just stop, please. Because one thing Barnes has done, and I'll give him credit, he's found diamonds in the rough. And that's the thing, is he knows guys, he can find talent, he can coach up talent, but when it gets to nut-cutting time, his discipline is too much, and he's too hard, because when he first got here, he was just railing on his team when they were picked to finish I think this might have been Grant's first year, maybe, I think it was his first, anyway. And he would just come out and just talk about how bad his team was and all this stuff. And Tony, I've never seen a basketball team so scared of scoring the ball or messing up and playing not to lose. I've never seen a basketball team literally beat a defender and go right to the rim, have a clear path right to the bucket, and turn around and pass the ball back out. I mean, it's just mind-boggling how bad the coaching has been in these games.
Well, on the way out, can you tell me how many points, because I'm looking at it, how many points did Carey average at Vanderbilt last year?
Okay. He scored 14 and 18 against Tennessee. He was 11 of 15 from the free throw line in both games combined.
Okay, and how many points did he average, Brian, the year?
For the year.
He didn't average 18 points a game. How about 8 points a game?
Brian?
He had big games against the Vols, and that's probably why they wanted to get him.
And the number's 8.
So
that was
the number's 8, Tony?
Probably.
Yeah, number's 8.
All right, I'll go check with the Refalytics, Judd, about that.
Yeah, you better get on Google, big boy. Don't come quoting 18 points to me. That guy averaging 18 points? He's an unplayable player against length. Look, he plays hard.
He had 18 against Tennessee, not
he
average.
Gets
he
rebounds.
had 18 against Tennessee in Knoxville.
Okay, I mean, if the only game that counts...
That's what I tried. That's what I said.
Yeah, if the only game that counts is that, what you know?
Maybe he's like the guy from Alabama, and he's been kind of flirting back and forth between two leagues, and maybe he was down there with the Spurgeon Chapel League, and maybe he averaged 18 last year in that league. Maybe I think that was the confusion.
Maybe that's why him and
Berg.
He
averaged 18.
Is that why him and Berg? Is that why him and Berg look so comfortable on the floor together, Matt? Could that be what it is? Matt, what's with the fascination now for Ethan Berg? What is this? What are we seeing here?
I'm not sure. It's funny you made that joke, because there was one sequence where Terry was yelling at Berg on the floor because he didn't throw him the ball on the block. So I'm not sure the chemistry is quite there with those two right now. I don't know why Berg plays so much, because every time he goes in there, he's making these terrible mistakes that Barnes is up yelling at him about.
He's a terrible player.
He continues to get minutes, and it just goes to we just don't have a backup point guard. You can't spell Gillespie at all.
No.
I mean, every time they try to put Gillespie on the wing and let Boswell run things, they almost never even get a shot off the first possession or two. It's just what this team relies so much on two guys, and Gillespie. They might even rely on Gillespie more than Ament, to be honest.
This team, Alex said it earlier. He said, "You want to really see this team fall apart? Take Gillespie off the team, leave Ament on the team. All these Gillespie haters, take him off this team and tell me how many wins you have. You'd have trouble beating South Carolina without him.
Good thought, Alex.
You would have trouble beating South Carolina Tuesday night without Gillespie. All you hate Gillespie. And look, Gillespie drives me nuts, because here's the truth about this team. Right now, you've got a beat-up Ament. That's not good. You've got no two guard because your two guard right now is playing point guard, which really means you don't have a point guard because you have a two guard playing point guard. You got a Ment beat up. You got Estrella out there on half a wheel. You've got Jalen Carey who jumps like an Italian person. I mean, come on. But other than that, things are great. They're looking up, things are looking up at the right time here. Now that the calendar's getting ready to hit March, I mean, geez. Between this and what Queen Kimmy's serving up, I mean, good gosh, Danny, let's double the ticket prices next year, Danny. Get you back to Garza Law. More Tennessee after this. Basketball Overtime momentarily. Fast-flowing show today, as they all are. And life flows quickly at you. Look, you're going to need an attorney you can count on. That's why Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm here for you. They are live and local. They are one of us. They are of this earth. They are not from Alabama. They are not from Florida. They are not from Atlanta. They are not one of these fly-by-nighters that have bombarded the area with all kinds of crazy marketing and crazy promises. They are us, ladies and gentlemen, your Garza Law Firm, online at garzalaw.com. Whether it's DUI, criminal defense, personal injury, Social Security, or disability, they got you covered at Garza Law, online at garzalaw.com. You talk about one of us, you bow thy head. That's the great Allen at WeShipFloors.com. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner, WeShipFloors.com, their pricing is utterly insane. You will literally save thousands. Supercore floor, it is the real deal. Whatever you do, go to WeShipFloors.com. Check out the room visualizer on the website. You can drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order a free sample today. It is that simple. You order a free sample, it makes us look great, but you're also gonna, when you see the product and you go on YouTube and you check out WeShipFloors.com, that's WeShipFloors.com, right out of Johnson City. Millions and millions and the millions of square feet in stock. WeShipFloors.com. Save thousands on millions. WeShipFloors.com. And while we're on the subject, I want to say, raise a glass. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for our friends at Dos Equis. You are going to go for Dos. Say it, know it, and write it down. Dos Equis Lager Especial. When it's time to celebrate, when it's time to nestle in and watch the Vols all winter long. Dos Equis Lager Especial, that golden Pilsner style beer made from the choice of hops. A balanced composition, a smooth, clean finish. The party guest always invited, never overstays his welcome. Dos Equis Lager Especial. You can dress it up, rub that bottleneck, that can, that glass, that rim. Put a little lime on it. Dip it a little salt. And lick and drink and repeat, and you'll come back again and again. Dos Equis 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Yo soy Antonio. Go for Dos Equis. Also, how do we perform at our best? It's called Performance Medicine. I want to encourage you to check out Performance Medicine's YouTube channel. You'll be very glad that you did. They are absolutely incredible at Performance Medicine. Dr. Rogers and his gang want you healthy. They don't want to treat you when you're sick. They want you to stay healthy. Take control of your wellness. Personalized health solutions that fit your life. The approach of Performance Medicine puts you first, focusing on comprehensive, proactive solutions, empowering you to achieve optimal health on your terms. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you feeling drained? You struggling with your weight goals? You feeling foggy mentally? You dreaming of radiant skin? You name it, they've got it. Performance Medicine. Online at performancemedicine.net, and check out their YouTube channel. They are incredible people, helping hundreds and hundreds in this audience. And now, without further ado, let's get back to another edition of Garza Law Tennessee Basketball. Thank you. We are back. It's Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime. We'll get the rest of our calls in and then call it an evening because, we're 90 minutes into a night that This Tennessee team's just invented ways to blow, and it's a new one. It's the new generation taking over tonight's game. Hello and welcome in. You're on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime, presented by Marcus Garza, the Garza Law Firm, online at garzalaw.com. Hi.
What's up, Tona? Bobby, thanks for being there.
Welcome
as
in,
always.
brother.
I'm going to get called a lot of names on your live chat there, as I usually do.
Those guys are haters. Who cares about them?
I mean, it's okay. They're a bunch of Neanderthals with a keyboard. But is it weird that I'm just not as disappointed as everybody else tonight? Tony, if I was sitting there at say like 7:05 tonight, and I told you, hey Tony, guess what's going to happen tonight? Our best player is going to get hurt. He's going to play about 11 minutes. He's going to score a meaningless 2 in the second half, and after he does that, he's going to come down and he's going to be hobbled again, and they're going to take him out for the rest of the game. And there's a chance that it's a high ankle sprain, and if that's true, he's going to miss at least 2 or 3 weeks, at minimum a couple of 10 days. What's the final score of this game?
Oh, it's not good.
And if I told you that Tennessee relinquished their lead with 22.8 seconds to go in the game for the first time the entire game, what would you have said?
Almost got home and stole a game.
I mean, like, there was a reason that Alabama was favored when we were winning in the second half in Vegas.
Oh, no. Yeah, I believe that. Yes.
Like the live bet. I mean, they were favored to win.
Yeah.
And we were up like 6.
Look, you know our team. If you're watching that game and the Vols are up 6 and you know that Ament, as they announce it on television, is not coming back into the game as they did, you would go and you would, if you're a live bettor.
Free money.
Yeah, you would pound Bama.
Yep. So, I mean, I guess I should be pissed off like everybody else and want to say that, you can't pay freshmen $4 million, even though that probably this year the 12 best players in college basketball are all freshmen, but what the hell do I know? Because I just have eyes and a brain. And then, you look the other way down the way and you say, okay, so he's not worth $4 million. This Jacoby Gillespie guy's terrible, even though he went for 26 and he's learned how to pass the ball and steal and not turn it over. He's terrible. Our front court struggles. It does. Nobody's going to argue that. Yeah, Jalen Carey averages for his career 7.5 points per game. He's averaging 7.5 points per game this year, and his last 2 games are probably, ironically, his 2 best games as a Vol this year. There's a hot take. Like what do we want? What do you want? Rick Barnes did not get a shooter. That is on him. Absolutely. You can't fire the guy. The other day, Tony, you posed the question, and I really did some soul searching, and I've been a Barnes basher for years. What do you want? Buzz Damn Peterson again? What do you want? He's doing the best they can. They're not very good. Sorry. That's just who we are, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to lose games. And I'm going to leave it with this, Tony. That Arizona State baseball win today was huge. I cannot wait to listen to Heflin. I'm assuming he's having Evan Russell tomorrow. If that's true, that will be that'll be awesome.
He's having TGMD with him. I don't know about Evan Russell. I haven't heard that. Well, that's a good assumption by you, though. I'm kind of into that. Do you know that, Matt? You guys having Evan on tomorrow? I know you're gonna have some special
He was on one of his podcasts.
Oh yeah.
Last one he recorded.
Yeah.
Evan was.
Kind of hoping Tennessee they go to the Supreme Court to try to get Evan Russell to play tomorrow.
Hey, Matt, don't talk about baseball. These goofs in here. Hey, real Mr. Tubbs, whoever you are, next time you say collar pace to me, brah, I'm going to show you some pace over on our YouTube chat because I've had about enough of you imbeciles. By the way, our YouTube's a fun way to watch a show and get in there tonight. Alex, there was a new contender for handle of the night. What was the handle in there earlier, Alex?
It was a take on your famous line, "I didn't do it," and the name was Tony Did Do It.
Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What do you say, Tony?
Hey, Phil, welcome in, buddy.
Well,
I don't know what to say. It's hey, if you can't beat Florida anymore, and if you can't beat Alabama anymore, and you can't beat Kentucky anymore, what good are you?
I mean, they're still going to make the tournament with a comfortable seat.
You can beat Vandy at least.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess we're going to see next week, Phil.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just tired of Barnes. I mean, let's get real.
Oh, I
he's
get
never
that.
going to go to the Final Four.
No, listen,
it's pretty simple. I mean,
I get. Look, Dave Odom told me a long, long time ago, 10 years at one place, unless you win it all, he said, it's about time for you to hit the road. He said, fans get tired of you. Fans get tired of looking at you. They get tired of listening to you. He said 10 years is, 10 years is a good long ride on the train in coaching. So I get that people are tired of him. But, Phil, the floor, come on, man. You and I were together. You and I were in the building with a night on a Friday night when Western Carolina beat Kevin O'Neal back in the day. Or was it? No,
well,
it was
all
Wade
the money
Houston.
Tennessee's got over, they shouldn't be bad in basketball at all. I mean, it's just bad administration is one reason Tennessee hasn't been good back in those days, back in the 90s.
Somebody on YouTube, Phil, wants to bring Stephen Pearl in.
Well, I bring Bruce Pearl back in a minute if you could get him, but
what about Steve?
I don't know. They're going to have to. Dr. Danny, I don't want that garbage from Georgia to be our next coach. Do you?
No, there's no chance of that. I don't know if he's going to be Georgia's next coach.
Do you think that Dr. Danny's going to be around enough to make the next basketball hire? That's going to be his next big thing.
It's going to be a really interesting thing.
Out.
It's going to be a really interesting thing to see who lasts longer, Dr. Danny or get with me after this football season, Dr. Danny or Rick Barnes. Because here's the thing: when Dr. Danny is a real, he's a line item guy. He loves the revenue. It's really easy to bring in the revenue when everybody's winning and at the top of the sports. The way they've treated the fans here. His administration.
Yeah, it's awful. I agree.
And when you start losing a little bit and you start dipping a little bit, all these people that you've treated like garbage, and you're going to go back to them and they're going to look at you and go, I don't think so, Dr. Danny. I don't think so. I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it.
Yeah. Tony, is it true that we missed 32 layups tonight or 22, something like that?
Phil, we were on layups. I'm glad you asked that question. We were 11 for 27 on layups tonight, Division I basketball.
Well, that's the reason you lost the game. Even with no point guard or not enough shooting guard, we had enough inside if you convert inside to beat them, and we didn't do it. I mean,
actually, the answer is 12 for 29, Phil. 12, not 11 for 20. 12 for 29. Which is a crazy number in Division I basketball.
Well, who coaches the post players? Do you know?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, they should be your strength for your team, but it's not.
Well, it should be, but Phil, let's look at who all's hurt. I mean, no Phillips is a huge thing. It's a huge, huge loss to them. And the fact that Estrella's gotten hurt again hasn't helped. And
what's the problem? Everybody getting hurt all the time over there now. What's going on? I mean,
know. One of those years, man.
Something it used to be what happened to the football team. Now it's going to spread it to the basketball team. We got our people hurt all the time.
One of those years, Philly.
Well, you think is there going to be a Final Four in my lifetime, Tony?
Philly, yes.
Really?
Yes.
It's sure not going to be Rich Bruins. See?
What in the world? Matt, you like these guys tonight? The Barnstormers are out in full force tonight, Matt.
I mean, I don't know what Barnes had to do with that game. I mean, you lost your best player.
Hello and welcome into our next call.
Barnes was the reason you had that lead.
I was the way I was looking at it.
He's the matchup nightmare for Oates, who found a way to get teed up, and I'm not sure his team got called for another foul after that.
It was a really smart piece of coaching by him to get teed up. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, how are you?
Doing great, thank you.
So I get to follow Phil. Lovely. Lucky me. Tony, next time you see the officiating Don Daly on the roster calling UT game, bet the house on another team to win. We're 1-3 at that son of a bitch calling our games this year.
Wow.
The Kansas loss, Kentucky lost at home, and tonight. Think somebody's making some money on the ball games? That's why Vegas had the Bama win the game so much in the second half. The fix was in.
What do you think, Matt?
Don Daly is another one of these refs that blown Pat Adams. The league just needs to retire. Needs to be shown the door by the whole league.
No, you definitely got a bad whistle tonight at home. I thought, but it wasn't Daly wasn't the official. There was another official who was the one that was calling all the fouls on Tennessee. It wasn't Daly, but no. Overall, it was not a good night for Tennessee with the stripes.
How do we get everybody in college basketball gets a home whistle except for us? Are we either feeding them too good in the locker room or not good enough before the game?
Barnes always gets a great whistle, I believe.
This year we haven't.
This year we don't have a smart. You're barking up the wrong tree. This year's team's not very smart, man.
Well, no, I'm not saying it just in general. But somebody on the rules committee, he gets some of the worst calls I've ever seen.
He gets pretty good. Still gets a pretty good whistle. I think you're being you're way out on an island on the officiating thing. I mean, look, they're letting the teams play, and for Tennessee's perspective against Alabama, you want to let the teams play.
Tony, there was 11, they were called for 11 fouls. They had 4 fouls in the second half at a college basketball game where they beat the hell out of each other.
They don't. Alabama doesn't even try to rebound a basketball, though. I mean, maybe you're watching something different than I am. Tennessee had their hands all over them in the first half. Come on, you know better than that.
For a team to be called for 4 fouls in a college basketball game
you know
on
better
the road?
than that. They were shoving them all over the place.
No, Don Daly has been. We've lost 2 games at home this year, and he's called both of them.
And that was what was
the
other game?
Of that is obvious.
What was the other game?
The Kentucky loss.
You got to be kidding me! You're blaming that on officiating? No. Are you are you serious? Or are you gaslighting me right now?
I did not say. I said the statistics today is a
No. Here's the statistics. Our basketball team is stupid with a capital.
They're dumb as a box of rocks. I agree.
Well, that's why we're losing games. It has nothing to do with officiating. The officials in the league are letting these teams play. Where have you been, man? Where have you been?
I watched a shitload of college basketball games. And this league has some of the worst officials in college basketball.
The league, exactly. The league is letting the teams play. That's exactly right. So what league are we in? I'm watching this Florida game. These 2 teams are beating the hell out of each other. They're not blowing the whistle. What do you think it says, 1988? Come on, man. You want to watch foul shooting? I don't want to watch foul shooting. Is that what you want to do?
Well, you're talking about missing layups. I watched the play a minute ago. Estrella on the low block, misses a layup. Jacoby gets rebound, goes in, and is hammered on the call. No call.
Both teams. Come on now.
But yeah, Fallon gets the call.
Not true. Fallon got.
Yes, it was.
Not true. Fallon had a putback tonight and got absolutely hammered. And in any other game, in any other year, it's an N1, and he got thrown to the ground, and there's no call. Come on, man. Both teams
and on
were
the Amen injury, I hope Nate is okay.
Both teams were doing it, buddy. I'm sorry, I didn't do it. Both teams were doing it.
I hope Nate's okay for his injury because that was a damn cheap shot. The kid counted to 2, then dove on his leg.
Buddy, you see a different game than I do. Nate, did you guys think that was a cheap shot? Guy trying to break a man's leg, counted to 2 and dove on his leg. Is that guy a bit, Matt? That guy's a bit, right?
No, I think he's just frustrated. I do think Tennessee didn't get a great home whistle tonight. I think there's a lot of truth in that. But what you're saying is true, too. Besides Ament, Tennessee doesn't have anybody skilled enough that attacks the rim that can get fouls, that draws fouls, unfortunately.
We said it earlier in the year.
I do think there were some fouls that Bama got away with on some shots, some of those layups that Tennessee missed. But they for the most part, they did swallow their whistles. But Bama got a good whistle, especially down the stretch after Oates got teed up.
And when Tennessee built the lead, they got a great whistle because they were letting us shove them off the line, Matt. We were extremely physical with their 3-point shooters. In fact, we bullied them. We were bullying them in the first half. But we're so stupid. Instead of having a 15, 16, 17, 18-point lead, we held them scoreless for the first 4.5 minutes of the game, and we're only leading by 4. You going to blame the officials? Come on, man. You got to be kidding me. Don Daly? Come on, now get a hobby, man.
Some of what we're talking about and what he's complaining about, though, is exactly what you lose with Nate Ament. It's part of what he does so well that people don't necessarily realize, even when he's not scoring a ton.
Yes.
Is he gets to the free throw line. He's the mismatch where guys can't help but foul the guy, and we don't have another guy like that. So I have no doubt that we would have gotten more opportunities and we would have drawn more fouls had he been out there. And at this point this is the thing about basketball, guys get reputations. And at this point in the league, this point in the season, Nate Ament has a reputation as a guy who, because of his mismatching ability, he's a guy who's going to draw fouls. And when he goes out of the game, that's part of what comes with his absence, unfortunately.
Back to the phones we go. Here's some intelligentsia, Matt, in our fan base. Super J Mac 85. Ament. If he's on the floor like everyone else, he isn't injured. Matt, these people think Ament is really not. They really think that Ament was gold bricking, not being in the game tonight. Wasn't tough. I don't know what to tell people.
Yeah, I don't see that at all. I mean, I think the guy's been banged up for a couple of games now. We kind of talked about it last post game because he's just not been himself.
He was beat up going into the Vanderbilt game.
Yeah, he better not play at South Carolina. I'd give him that game off.
Did they not see him in the tunnel trying to get back in shape to play, or trying to get that hobbled off to lift off, or whatever you call it, to get back in the game?
If he walks out there, he's able to play. No, he's not. If he walks out there, he's giving it a go, you goof. If you walk out there and you try to play and you can't play, it means you've tried. Give him some credit for that. Damn it. So unfair. Pathetic. Pathetic take. No offense. Blaming Don Daly, blaming Nate Ament. Hey, you lost a game tonight. Our team is stupid. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, what's going on? It's Bo and Galveston, brother.
Hey, Bo. Good to hear from you.
Dude, I got several things. I've been
hit it,
listening
man.
A few comments.
Go for it.
Daly is a clown. I'm not blaming officials, but he's kind of like Patty Adams. You know, he's subject to make just a game-changing call that you don't really recognize. Mm-hmm. But there was a call on Estrella, and he threw his hands up like, "What are you even talking about?" You know, I didn't do anything, and Daly didn't even have a good angle to see the play. But I tell you, to keep it a little lighthearted with Sammy and the Ridge. Hey, I love all your callers, but man, I believe Sammy's sound like he's been hitting the gummies tonight, Tony.
Hey, Sammy tonight. Sammy had that sound. I'm going to ask Sammy on Monday what he was under the influence of, because I've been having trouble sleeping lately, and I want some of that. Sammy was out on his feet tonight, man. He had our guy that can't jump an inch off the ground. He had him averaging 18 last year. 18 points a game.
No, you could tell he was a little more laid back. I love you, Sammy. He's a little more laid back, brother.
I love Sammy. But, so great.
If we go back, Tony, last Saturday,
yep.
You know our boy from the Holy Land, Berg.
Yep.
He if you go back to last Saturday,
yep.
He made a play on a driving layup.
Yep.
He got a foul call on Vandy.
Yep.
He was a cog in the game. So tonight, hey, if I know there's 9 seconds left on the shot clock, and ultimately we'd rather have Gillespie wind it down, shoot a bomb, drain it, or whatever. Berg was open and he pulled it. Man, if he knocked it down, if he knocked it down,
it's
then,
a horrible
hey, he's got
basketball.
some confidence.
If he knocks it down, it's a horrible basketball play and the ball went in. Come on. Hey, Matt, what were you doing, Matt, when he pulled with 11 seconds on the clock? Dixon, what were you doing? I couldn't believe.
Hey, I'm serious, Tony.
I know you are.
So,
That's what scares me.
Listen.
There's a full moon
Saturday,
out there tonight, man. There's a full moon, guys.
Yeah, you can see all the planets, brother. I already been out there, but I'm not down with Sammy the Ridge. But anyway, you take a week's difference. He makes a few plays, we win.
Yeah.
He don't tonight, we lose.
Yeah.
And I want you guys think about something, and maybe Alex could chime in on this. But if you think about some of those games, I'm thinking about the A&M game, maybe some early games in the SEC schedule. The reason we won those games was because Boswell made a few plays down the stretch.
Oh, I don't think there's any question. Boswell's been good. The problem with him is him playing 28 minutes is too much Bishop Boswell. He's a nice 12-minute-a-night guy. Come in and do Bishop Boswell things, but it's called diminishing returns. It's kind of like listening to me talk for 2 hours.
No.
10 minutes of me goes a long way.
Yeah, but he, like I said, if he makes those plays tonight, we win. If he don't make those plays in those games earlier in the year, man, we're probably sitting at 500 in the league. I'm just saying, it's them role players, it's them guys. They make plays, especially with Amen out tonight. And y'all been talking about it, but man, we shot eight free throws because Nate's not in the game. Gillespie shot 6, and the big man Kerry shot 2 and bricked them. And we go 4, man, from 3. I mean, it's not hard to figure out. And we're right there in the end. And, I hate losing to Bama and Oates, man. He's a slime. He's a slime, dude. He'll make a deal with the devil to get a win. And Barnes owns it, no, and this is tough one to swallow. But one more thing, Tony. You talking about Abram coming in the game?
Yep.
Now, you think about, and you talk about Barnes not taking a timeout.
Yep.
When we played that darn rec league team in the tournament a few years ago for Morgan State with Springer and Keon. And, dude, they went on a 20-0 run or something. Barnes don't call timeout, whatever. That game was over at halftime.
Yep.
That's just one of them things. I mean, how can he get to a point where he did call a timeout tonight when they cut it to 6. It was 59-53. But my point about Abram, I'm not putting him in the category of them guys or Julian Phillips or any of them, but you got guys like him, and I'll let y'all comment on this, Tony. You got guys like Abram, even Berg, some of those guys coming off the bench. Man, they know if they don't cross over dribble right, they're going to get absolutely eaten alive and ripped by Barnes. I mean, playing under that kind of pressure under him, dude, that ain't no fun. I mean, they love him and they play for him and they play hard, but going in a game like that, man, you can't play loose that way.
Thank you, my man. Good talking to you. There's no question that, again, Matt, we've said it before, not everybody's for Rick Barnes, and Rick Barnes isn't for everybody. And he definitely has a suffocating nature about him with offensive players. He definitely does, Matt.
And he especially does with those role players that come off the bench, like our caller said. It's a really good point. It's one of the bigger, I think, critiques of Barnes that I think is absolutely fair as to why he doesn't win more in the tournament, because I don't think his teams are prepared to be in those spots.
Yes.
Because he's just so overbearing kind of throughout the season, and guys are afraid to make mistakes, and that, especially those role players, it's a really good point. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot more good than bad with Barnes, but we've talked about it. The bad kind of taps that ceiling and is, but it's also one of the reasons why he's so successful year after year.
Well, you want to see why he's so successful year after year? Turn Lady Vols on tomorrow. Watch him. Come back to me. Because she has a bunch of players that they got a transfer portal that have really great statistics. And they don't try at all. I mean, they have zero culture. They don't try. They don't even try. You go watch that. This guy here, this year with this team, is going to win how many games, Bri? How many wins we tracking for right now?
probably, depending on immense health, maybe 22.
I mean, with this team?
I don't think too many more than that, though.
22 wins with this team? With this team. Let's think about that for a second. Again, I got my 2 guard playing shooting guard. I'm sorry. I got my point guard who's really a 2 guard playing point guard. I don't have a 2 guard. I've got Bishop Boswell at 2 guard, who tonight, I mean, to say he's a non-factor offensively, I mean, then you've got a myriad of role players and kind of misfit toys like this Carey guy. And they're going to win 20. You know why they're going to win 22 games? Because they're tracking to be one of the best rebounding teams in the history of college basketball. That's what the Vols are tracking to be. And they lost a game tonight, but out-rebounded a team by 17 in their building. Now, to Matt Dixon's point earlier, they have to do that. Because if they don't get a lot more shots than you, they're going to get absolutely obliterated. So they have to do that. But you got to give, again, I'm telling you right now, those of you that want this guy gone, turn a Lady Vols on tomorrow and come back to me. Because she can't coach a lick. No offense to her. I'm not trying to crack on her. She has a team that's commensurate in talent to that LSU bunch that they got waxed by the other night. They're spending the roster. They're spending way at the top of the sport. But they got a bunch of checkout artists on their team. Rick Barnes, some of you, want him to keep the guy that's at Baylor now. The guy at Baylor's never playing for Rick Barnes. And Matt Dixon made a point on our daily show earlier in the year, and it might be what keeps Rick Barnes from going to the Final Four. Not doing business with those types of people. Not turning his head and letting that guy stay on his roster. That's kind of what you said, right, Matt? Not turning his head?
Yeah. You need those go-to guys that can score in March, yeah. But he kind of doesn't figure out a way to make it work with those, which is why he's always in the tournament and got a pretty high seed, but it's also why he probably is never getting to a Final Four or just outplaying his seed.
Yes. Just a wacky thing, man. Just a wacky thing. Wacky game tonight. Crazy game. All right. Garza Law, Tennessee, basketball overtime. You're on the air. Hi.
What's up, Tony? Grant in Birmingham. How are you?
Hey, Grant. You're going to close this beer joint down tonight at the 2-hour mark, Grant. Welcome in.
Yeah, I appreciate you still being on here. Couple of thoughts real quick. I was going to say, for one, kind of double-checking Brian's math here.
Yep.
All we got to do to get 23 wins is beat South Carolina, win one tournament game in Nashville, and then beat a 12 seed. So I'm going to go ahead and chalk that up to minimum we're winning 23 games. And if you can beat Vanderbilt at home, which is, probably 50-50 depending on Nate's health, or between 50 and 75%, and then possibly win a second-round game if Nate's healthy, you're talking about 25 wins.
Now listen,
25 wins
with this team
thank you very little. Absolutely insane.
22 wins with this team's crazy, right?
Yeah, and I mean that's the absolute 22 wins. All you got to do is beat South Carolina and beat a 12 or 13 seed.
Because that's how hard they play, Grant.
It's not even just the 22 wins.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
No, it's just how hard they play. That's why they're winning. It's not what they have on the floor. It's how hard they play.
Yeah, and I mean this is going to infuriate the people that are done with Barnes tonight. And again, don't get me wrong, watching the second half unfold, it's frustrating. But in some ways, we have 9 losses now. Do people realize in our 9 losses, 6 of them have been 4 points or less, which of course in the moment is infuriating to lose those games. But we don't get blown out. I mean, you think about the loss to Bama tonight, the 2 Kentucky losses, the Kansas loss, the Missouri loss, and the Syracuse loss. Those 6 losses, we lost by 4 points or less. And I would argue the Syracuse loss was dreadful. That's a terrible loss. Besides that, the other 5, and I mean, maybe Kentucky at home, but I'm watching that second half tonight. They've got 4 guards who are NBA type players out there in Philon, Amari Allen, Holloway, and Reitzel. We've got one dude. We got one dude. It is what it is.
And
I mean,
Allen,
we lost. Now,
yeah.
if you want to rightfully critique Barnes, and I've done this, we've said it. We lost this game in the summer or in the spring last year. We didn't recruit. They didn't. They whiffed on the 2-guard, and I've defended Boswell more than you have. But that last caller's right. For us to win games like this, especially if Ament's out, Boswell's got to score 10, 12, 14. We just didn't do it tonight. But again, like you said, he shouldn't have to do that, especially as a true sophomore, as a guy that we were not counting on to do that. But that's your only chance, and that's just not who he is right now. But yeah, we lost that. Like I said, we lost that game in the spring. I mean, it's just, you watch that, the fact that we led that game for 39 minutes.
Crazy.
Again, is it maddening to lose? Of course. No one, trust me, I live in Hoover, Alabama. I hate losing to Alabama. But like, you look at what was on the court in that second half, and the fact we led for 39 minutes, and you're going to get mad at Rick Barnes? Like, what? You know, Philly calling in about, we can't beat Bama or Kentucky. We just beat Bama 5 times in a row. I get Phillies can be an old, a mad old man sometimes, but like, give me a break, dude. Give me a break. You would think someone like him, who's seen as much, as you pointed out, bad basketball over the years, would be able to, realize that Rick Barnes probably isn't the reason we're losing games, but I digress. Anyway, like I said, this is a frustrating team. It is frustrating to lose these, like I said, just like the Kentucky home game, just like the Kentucky game at Rupp, it is maddening to be up by 15 and just slowly watch it whittle away. But I just think tonight it was just it was an X's and O's, or not an X's and O's. It was Jimmy's and Joe's, and I watched those Bama guards, and yeah, we killed them on the boards and we killed them down low. But at some point, basketball is a guards game, and one thing I will give Dave. Negatives that he's an interesting cat, but he is right. It's a scores game nowadays, and you can win. Yeah. Barnes has won a lot of games, but you still got to have a few scores. And right now, tonight, we had one score. And
they're going to address this. They're going to address this in the offseason. They like their core. They love this Evans kid. They think their front line can come back and help them. And look, I don't know. Do you move on from Estrella after the season because his body's not going to cooperate? The Brown kid's going to be a really nice player for him. Obviously Boswell's back next year. Carey will, I don't think, be back next year.
I hope not.
And so they're going to have a pretty good core around them. They really like this freshman class.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say the key is with the core, I'm with you. I've been high on the core. You better go find 2 big-time scores, though.
That's what
not one. You're going to need to find 2.
No, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, yeah.
Yeah. And if you find 2 big-time scores, I think we'll be really good next year.
Yeah.
Like back in the top 10 good. Again, I think it's really a minor miracle that they're going to get 22, 23-plus wins with this team. Because they're just not very skilled. They're not, and they don't even play that good a defense. I mean, it's
no, that's exactly
it's
right.
decent. But
that's right.
Tonight,
that's
Tony,
right.
we got one stop. Do you know this? I don't know. I'm not listening to the whole
6 of 7 down the stretch. You're right.
We got one stop in the last 8 minutes.
You're
not
right.
just 6 of 7. We got one stop in the last 8 minutes.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that profuse. Wow.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we scored, and this is why it just doesn't make sense. We only lost by 2 points. We scored 10 minutes. We scored 10 points in the last 9 minutes, and we got one stop in the last 8 minutes. And we still, against a top 15 team in all the metrics, we lost by 2 points. It doesn't make any sense without our best player.
These games are drunk. I hate this Bama series. I like it because we're on top, but from a basketball standpoint, it's ugly ass basketball. The contrast of these two teams.
Yeah, and I mean honestly too, I'll say like if I step back and let my emotions out of it for a second, we stole that game last year on that 3-pointer. Meshack hit us the buzzer. That whole thing. We were down 4 with 30 seconds left. We pulled that game out.
Oh yeah.
We lost one tonight. It is what it is. My last thing I will say, if I am being a little negative about something, and you hit on it a few minutes ago, this is mostly I'm willing to chalk it up as a 1-year blip, some tough losses. But I will say, when you talk about Dr. Danny and you talk about how he's treated people, it has been a very, very tough school year with home games. You look around in football, you blew the Georgia game late, you blew the Oklahoma game late, or really, well, no, you can argue it wasn't late, but you blew the Oklahoma game. The Vanderbilt game, you watched them wax you in the second half on your home field. And then in this year, the basketball teams had some good moments, but I would argue the two biggest basketball games at home you played on your campus this year. You lost a 17-point lead to Kentucky. You lost a 13-point lead to Bama. You better fix that going forward. Again, it's 1 year.
No,
we were
right.
great at home in football and basketball last year. So I'm
well
go
put.
ahead.
No, it's well put.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, I'm willing to chalk it up as a 1 year blip.
Yep.
And Barnes has been phenomenal at home. I'm not really worried about them. But it is the truth that your two biggest games at home this year. I mean, those were just just watching those down the stretch. I mean, you can't blow double-digit leads at home. So anyway, just a thought. Anyway, appreciate y'all being on for 2 hours. Like I said, hate losing to Bama. It sucks, but this team is overachieved, and it just kind of is. It is what it is.
Thank you, my man. Good talking to you. And let's go around the room, guys. Been a lot of fun here. Matt, you were at the ball game. Final thought. Make the last first.
Hope Ament's healthy for this stretch run. Wouldn't play him Tuesday night at South Carolina, but no, it's frustrating to lose the game. You were ahead the entire time, and really you thoroughly outplayed them for much of the game, but it just didn't really show it on the scoreboard, which is kind of what this team is. We've talked about it. They're not going to blow anybody out, and they're also not going to get blown out. That's just kind of the way they play. But to only lead by like 12, I don't know if they ever got up by 14, but it felt like Tennessee had outplayed Bama by a lot more than that. And you faced a team that can go on a 6 or 8-0 run in 20 seconds that very few teams can do. And that's kind of what they did a few times and they kind of stole a game that you had kind of already had stolen because you were playing without Amen. So frustrating loss, but need to take care of business these next 2 games. And hopefully Amen, his ankle or whatever is hurting you can get him right, because you're not doing anything in the postseason without him, and tonight kind of just showed that.
Thank you, Matt. Alex?
Yeah, I don't have a lot to add. It's a tough loss. I think, again, it's not that you lost, like we've said so many times under losses this season. It's not necessarily that you lost or who you lost to, but it's how it happened. And off the heels of another big lead. It's just really disappointing. But kind of like echoing what Matt said, the biggest thing right now is finding out Ament's health long term. I'm not too worried about whether he plays on Tuesday or not. But yeah, you've got to have him back. And in the meantime, you got to try to get some of these other guys that are bumped up and bruised. You got to get them healthy too, because this team doesn't have a lot of depth as it is. You can't afford to go into March with injuries.
Brian Hartman.
Ole Miss has lost 10 straight, and they lead with less than 3 minutes to go at Auburn by 5.
That's a great final thought. I'm telling you. You want your job to
Will
open?
Auburn have a sellout for their NIT home game?
You want your job to open? You want your job to open? I'm telling you. Turn that Lady Vol game on tomorrow. You want your job to turn that Lady Vol game on tomorrow. Tell me how much fun job openings are. Turn that game on tomorrow. Brian, great final thought. Grant Birmingham said it. This team's got losses by a combined X number of points. It's not a lot. But they also have wins by a combined number of points. This team doesn't blow anybody out. We've been saying it all year. So they get up 13-14 in the first half, and you're going, okay, how are we going to open the door? Well, this Philon guy is a hell of a player. And one of the 4 players that Grant talked about only had 2 points tonight from Bama. Couldn't throw it in the ocean. And that was going to be the reason they were going to lose the game. Tennessee plays so damn hard. I don't blame the officials for tonight. I don't. To me, it was a college basketball game. It's why I love the sport. It's why I love being here with you. And yes, Phil, you're going to see a Final Four in your lifetime. We're going to see a Final Four before it's over. I believe that. Might happen this year. It's a crazy sport, once again. It's a crazy sport. The Ament deal, I want to encourage you when you go on a chat board later or you're on Twitter or wherever, social media. These kids read this stuff. Please, 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 please don't accuse him of gold bricking. Please. Like some of what we heard tonight. Please don't do that to him. He's a great kid. He's from a great family. He has tried really hard. He plays really hard. He plays to contact, as a couple people have said tonight, which is absolutely accurate. And I want to remind you, tomorrow, as soon as the baseball game goes final, right where you find us, you'll find us. Will Heflin, VFL, along with Matt Diskin, will be with you. And what time's the first pitch tomorrow, Matt? It's early, right?
I believe it's 11:30.
Yeah. So roughly that would mean the game would be on like what? Around 1:45 or so? It's a 3-hour game, right?
Yeah, so not 1:45, but maybe
2:33-ish.
Maybe 2:30.
I mean 2:30 is what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, 11:30, which if it's Central Time, that's a 10:30 Central Time start.
Yep. Joe from Cincy is saying $4 million. Look, guys, Nate Ament got $4 million. Okay. I don't know. Are you supposed to be able to heal yourself when you make $4 million? He's been a damn good player. I tell you this. I like to see our season without him. I like to see our season if he'd have gone to Duke. You wouldn't be on here bitching about it. How much money he's paid. Hey, Matt, we got to come up with a name for these guys on YouTube. Because the Twidiots, I've got that figured out. They're a bunch of Twidiots. But these YouTube guys, I mean, this is a...
You see, they seem to dictate the show a lot more than they need to.
Yeah, that's a good point. And on
you
that...
you kind of let them run the show a little bit. They kind of are the tempo of the show.
On that note, we love you. Peace. That's a good bit, Matt.
Brian couldn't wait to get off.
And if Brian loves those YouTubers. Brian's got a soft spot in his heart.
Has Brian ever interacted with the YouTubers?
He hates the YouTubers.
Yeah,
he's very anti-chat.
He totally ignores them, and you listen to every word they say or read every word they say.
I think they're funny. They make me laugh.
Oh, I love it when they rip you.
Oh my gosh, and they're good too, boy. They're really good at like flying around on me like some just absolute just piss ants. That's what they are.
It's clear that the YouTubers are not callers. That's for sure.
They're piss ants. In my mouth, but Tennessee winning. Alabama comes from way behind tonight. Tennessee without Nate Ament for much of the second half. Pretty decent piece of the ball game. Only played 11 minutes. And obviously just a terrible result tonight as the Tennessee Vols lose 71-69. The title tonight, Ament falls, and so do the Vols. And do we have a lot to talk about? Boy, these games are really strange when we play Alabama. Really strange basketball games. We got a real look-see, though, into how valuable both those players are tonight. Because when you watch this Tennessee team play without Nate Ament, try to do the math, okay, on how many wins they would have if they didn't have that kid. It's Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. And for Alabama, I mean, hey, that's a team that gutted out a win, even though they got bullied. I mean, they got shoved all over the place tonight. They got out-rebounded 47-30 in the basketball game.